Hello guys, in this video I will go over my Python data visualization team project, and here it is. The project itself is a GitHub repository, and the project is about suicide rates comparison among different countries by method, by sex and by age. Here we have a readme file. We'll need it in order to understand our project, and we'll have graphs.py, risk factors and interventions.png, and a couple of CSVs. So graphs.py is a Python script which, if executed, will plot 6 graphs in your machine. So here's the script. It's all commented out, and I guess it will be understandable for you. Also, we have a couple of CSVs which are our data sets, and our graphs.py is retrieving data from those data sets in order to plot the graphs. So let's jump to our plan of the project. So we have a question: what is suicide and who's at risk? What is suicide, who's at risk? Here's some textual information which may be useful for you. Also, we have a death by cause in the world graph, and we have a graph which will illustrate share of death from suicide, and a separate graph which will illustrate suicide rate more narrowed down, and it will compare Uzbekistan, the United States and Kazakhstan. Also, we'll have a graph which will illustrate suicide rates by age in specifically Uzbekistan, and a graph which will demonstrate suicide rates by sex by method in the USA. So here we have risk factors and interventions. In risk factors and interventions.png, we have a picture which depicts 3 layers of interventions. These are indicated, selective, universal, and a number of health systems and barriers to accessing healthcare. If you go over it thoroughly, you will understand what it is depicting. And we have a textual information about the ways of decreasing suicide rate. It may be also useful for you. So we're using several sources. These are our worldindata.org, who.int, and others. And the creators are myself, Examov, M. Jumanova, and Ravshan Yunusov. So you are maybe asking, where are the graphs? So graphs will appear in your machine if you run graphs.py. You can easily download it using user interface, download it as a zip file, or just running the following command in your terminal. So it takes a while. So if we run ls-l, we see we have got graphs.py, and once we execute it, it will plot 6 graphs in our machine. And in order to execute it, you need to have your Python installed and several packages installed. These are matplotlib, pandas, and numpy. If you don't have them, you can install them using these commands in your terminal. So let me make first let me make graphs.py executable, and now I can run a graphs.py. So let's run it, and here we see an output which is telling us that the graphs are plotted successfully, and finally we'll have the script is executed successfully. Okay, let's see if we have got these graphs. So we see that there are several PNGs appear, and let's open them. And if we open PNGs, we can see that we have different graphs. So here's a bar chart and the line graph, information about health systems, a couple of pie charts, horizontal bar graphs, and a set of bar charts which are grouped together. So actually this is it, and this is the project itself. Thank you for your attention.